On the night of November 23, 1961, a mother in West Germany cradled a newborn whose arms and legs were nothing more than stumps, a silent testament to a drug that had promised safety but delivered devastation. That single haunting image would become the emblem of one of the 20th century's greatest medical catastrophes, a tragedy born in laboratories, amplified by complacent regulators, and etched into the very fabric of modern drug safety law. In the early 1950s, the world was still reeling from the horrors of World War II, and the promise of scientific progress seemed like a beacon of hope. In West Germany, a small pharmaceutical firm called Chemie Grünenthal was seeking a marketable product that could revive its fortunes. Their answer arrived in 1956 under the brand name Contergan, a synthetic sedative belonging to the class of drugs known as thalidomides. Marketed as a wonder drug, it was touted as a gentle remedy for anxiety, insomnia, and most importantly, morning sickness in pregnant women. Advertisements featured smiling mothers holding their infants with the slogan that Contergan helps you keep the peace. The drug was cheap, widely available over the counter, and quickly embraced by physicians eager for a non-opioid solution to nausea. The appeal of Contergan was not limited to Germany. By 1959, the drug had been exported to over 40 countries, including the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and the United States. In the United Kingdom, the British pharmaceutical firm Distillers Biochemicals began distributing the drug under the name Thalidomide, while in the United States, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, initially rejected its application after a single physician, Dr. Francis Kelsey, demanded more safety data. Ironically, that very rejection would spare America from the worst of the disaster, while millions of infants elsewhere suffered. What the manufacturers and regulators failed to recognize was thalidomide's devastating effect on embryonic development. The drug crosses the placenta and interferes with angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels, crucial during the first trimester. When a pregnant woman takes even a modest dose between weeks 3 and 8 of gestation, the drug can halt limb bud formation, leading to phacomelia, the severe shortening or absence of arms and legs, as well as malformations of ears, eyes, heart, and internal organs. The tragedy was not immediately apparent because the drug's teratogenic effects manifested weeks after birth, and the link between a mother's early-stage medication and a malformed baby was not yet understood. The first alarm bells rang in late 1961, when German pediatrician Dr. Widukind Lenz observed a sudden surge in infants born with phacomelia and other congenital anomalies. By January 1962, he had compiled a series of case reports that pointed directly to maternal use of Contergan. Simultaneously, British obstetrician Dr. William McBride reported similar findings in the United Kingdom. Their data ignited a frantic search for a common denominator. When investigators traced the mother's medication histories, a pattern emerged. Virtually every affected child's mother had taken thalidomide during early pregnancy. The response from Grünenthal was initially defensive. Internal memos reveal that the company attempted to downplay the risk, suggesting that the deformities might be caused by genetic factors or other environmental agents. It was not until December 1961, when the German Ministry of Health issued a public warning, that Grünenthal finally withdrew Contergan from the market. By that point, however, an estimated 10,000 children worldwide had been exposed in utero, and at least 5,000 of them were born with severe malformations. In the United Kingdom alone, 2,000 infants were affected, in West Germany, roughly 5,000, and in Canada, more than 600. Legal battles erupted across continents. In Germany, a class action lawsuit led by a coalition of parents and advocacy groups forced Grünenthal to pay modest compensation, but the company's public apology came only after relentless public pressure. In the United Kingdom, the victims' families sued the distiller's biochemical subsidiary, resulting in a settlement that provided lifelong medical support for the affected children. In the United States, the FDA's early refusal to approve thalidomide was upheld, but the scandal prompted a sweeping overhaul of drug regulation. The 1962 Kefauver-Harris amendments to the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act mandated that drug manufacturers prove both safety and efficacy before a product could reach the market, and they established the modern framework for clinical trials and informed consent. The aftermath of the scandal reshaped the very nature of medical research. Autopsy reports and post-mortem examinations played a pivotal role in uncovering the drug's mechanism of action. Pathologists observed underdeveloped vascular networks in the limb buds of affected fetuses, confirming that thalidomide interfered with blood vessel formation. These findings spurred a new field of teratology, the study of birth defects, and led to the establishment of the World Health Organization's teratogen surveillance program. Moreover, the tragedy underscored the necessity of pharmacovigilance, the ongoing monitoring of drug safety after approval, a practice now embedded in every major health agency worldwide. Decades later, thalidomide re-emerged in a dramatically different context. Researchers discovered that, while the drug's anti-angiogenic properties caused fetal harm, the same mechanism could be harnessed to combat abnormal blood vessel growth in diseases such as multiple myeloma and leprosy-related erythema nodosum. Under strict controls, thalidomide has become a valuable, life-saving medication for patients with otherwise untreatable conditions. However, its renewed use is forever shadowed by the memory of the children who paid the price for its early, unchecked distribution. Subscribe to the Autopsy Files for more stories like this.